Hi, today we're in New Mexico on Route 66. Beautiful September day. Holy smokes, that's Interstate 40 headed westbound. This here is our 1926 Route 66 headed from Tucumcari out to the ghost town of Montoya. And there's three of these beautiful concrete bridges we'll find along the way. This one here is built in 1936. It's over the Arroyo de las Palomas. Beautiful train trestle here. Holy moly, this place is gorgeous. It's a steel stringer, these great concrete guardrails. Anyway, I used to have a plaque right up here on the end here. It said 1936. This side too. Beautiful sunflowers today too. Up ahead, that's the cemetery of Montoya. Along the way, I'll tell you about this little town. It's called the Tiny Ghost Town on Route 66. 4,320 feet above sea level. Today we find a cemetery, a couple scattered homes, crumbling old buildings. So historically, Montoya was occupied by the Quechua Apaches. 1824, a Spanish soldier and merchant named Montoya traded with the local Indians, received a land grant for the town. After the Mexican-American War, this became the United States. 1901, we had the first post office. 1902, the railway station was established. 1908, Richardson Store, the historic place we'll visit, was built here. By 1910, Montoya had a little town with Main Street and several buildings. This is the Montoya Cemetery on the east edge of town, established in 1910. It's pretty barren today. No trees, maybe a couple local shrubs in there. It's all locked up, so you can't get inside to check out all the headstones. But along the fence line, all these little historic markers here of buildings we'll still find here out in Montoya. That's a St. Joan of Arc Church, and of course the railroad, Route 66. Some cattle here. This here is called the Casa Alta. I think it's still standing if we can get to it. It is a home of Sylvan and Maria Ignacia Hendren, our local road runner, and an old Ford pickup. We have a few more plaques to look at. The Richardson Store, Sinclair Station, and that's in ruins today. We'll take a look. That's the Montoya history plaque. 1901, the name of the town was Roundtree. 1902, it was changed to Montoya. All the founders right there. We have all the ranchers' branding here, the mark of iron, all those brands. And like I said, out here, way down there is a St. Joan of Arc Church. Headed westbound from the cemetery, come across this little store here. It's probably the first store you would hit on Route 66. It's called the Cold Beer Store. Right on the side there it says Cold Beer. It's kind of a relic right now, busted up. We'll just continue on. This little barn here, we're gonna hang a left, and that takes us to the Joan of Arc Church. So you take this little dirt road here, with little struts on the side to get to our church, right alongside Interstate 40. Some old buildings here too. Look at this one here. Holy smokes. This building here is a St. Joan of Arc Church. Under the Archdiocese of Santa Fe, Tucumcari Parish, in the St. Joan of Arc Mission. It's a single room, painted white, little gabled roof on top there, and a beautiful cross right at the entrance. Anyway, it used to be totally fenced off, but now it's a little bit open. So I guess you can cross out here. Wow. Anyway, we have the entrance here, St. Joan of Arc Church, in memory of Cirillo Martinez. We got this beautiful bell right here on the outside. Anyways, a little gable roof entry here on our church. It's kind of flanked with that beautiful lattice. Got some junk over here too. And out there's Interstate 40. We're flanked by a bunch of scrub and bushes, and out here's an old home. Maybe that's the little residence for the pastor. Maybe some villagers. Some more ruins here right around Interstate 40. We're gonna head into town, take a look at some old ruins. All right, we made it to Montoya. Here's our Route 66. Up that way is the cemetery and the church. Head down this road. It's called Main Street of Montoya. This fellow here, kind of the last thing really standing, most popular. It's called the Richardson Store, established in 1908, listed on the National Register of Historic Places. So G.W. Richardson opened the store to supply the local ranchers and the railroad workers. He sold saddle blankets, feed buckets, other various merchandise and doohickeys. It's also the home of the local post office, and it's all kind of torn down. Holy smokes. So standing right here, looking south, this would be Main Street. 1910, had some buildings on the left here, old wooden warehouse-like buildings, and on the right as well. But not a lot is here today. So originally, our Richardson Store was built of wood, and later upgraded using the local red sandstone to rebuild it. It had gas pumps underneath this broken down canopy right here. Anyway, that's too bad. It falls apart every time I come back here to take a look. Just a little bit worse. Anyway, the business thrived for 5 decades before I-40 opened up, bypassed the town. And there's an exit here called 311 off of Interstate 40, but nobody ever stopped by. This whole place faded away. Richardson Store that closed down. It was vacant for a real long time, started falling apart. Here's what it looked like in 2008. At least it looks a little habitable. It used to be a steel post right in front, and that steel post would have been right about here, had a circle, little hole for the gas station logo. Anyway, the roof here collapsed in 2014. Out here, that's the T4 Cattle Ranch, established in 1902 by Yetta Khan, and her 3 sons had a store, bank, and the land company of Montoya. Then the family that purchased the Bell Ranch in 1946 and merged the two, became 180,000 acres. As of 2023, it was 220,000 acres. The largest private ranch almost in America. Anyway, you can snoop around and look at all sorts of cool buildings, but here's the side of our Richardson Store. After it's remodeled with all the local sandstone, make it a little more durable. This guy's way over 100 years old. Anyway, see, look inside here. That's all crumbling. Look at that. Anyway, he's really successful. We have a post office still. And some mailboxes. Here's a post here. Maybe a hitching post. In the back, we have a bunch of old debris, and this is really neat. Look at these beautiful cutout doors and windows of the Richardson Store. And we have some more old beat-up places here. Not sure what these were, but they're certainly not here anymore. And of course, we have Interstate 40 right out here. Here's some more buildings that were probably on the right side. So all this area here, a bunch of buildings down Main Street, which is right here. And on this side was also another building here. It's all torn down. Here we have another view of our store. You know, it's all fenced off, and I think some curious looky-lures, they come in, break the fence and walk through, but you really shouldn't do that. There's a giant pole, and I think this might be the pole for the gas station sign. But out here, out in the village, I didn't see it, but I think it still might be there. It's called the Casa Alta, built in the early 1900s. Anyway, some people call this an old store, but it's really the home of Sylvan and Maria Ignacia Hendren. Had 4 rooms. Upstairs were 2 large bedrooms. Downstairs, the living room, and the kitchen had a slanted roof, channeled rain fodder to fill up a cistern behind the house. Anyway, that's the story of this little town of Montoya. It used to be so successful. Holy moly. Anyway, we're going to head westbound this way out towards Santa Rosa. We're going to pass a little town called Curvo, the ghost town on Route 66.